Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Leslyn Keith here again with a live meet and greet with our event speakers. I'm here today with one of our speakers that is going to be at our Heart to Heart event, virtual event that's coming up in just a week. I'm here with Tamara Carroll. And she is just got a wealth of information that she wants to share with you about what she's going to be doing at the conference and all the activities that she's involved in. I'm so happy to be here with you, Tamara. Thank you for agreeing to do this.
Thank you. It's a big honor. Appreciate it.
So you are at the event. You're going to be on one of the panels, one of the patient panels, and specifically focusing on self-care. And you've got some great stuff to say about self-care. And one of those, you were going to share a little tidbit with our listeners today about releasing shame and stuff like that, which I think is very important for our community. And so, Tamara, I'd like you first to say a little bit about yourself.
Yeah.
We're going to go right into this wonderful tidbits you're going to give to everybody today.
Thank you very much. It's really an honor. And like I said, I learn so much from you, Leslyn, all the time. And I see you and I thank you for everything that you give to our community. So yeah, my name is Tamara Carroll, and I'm new to the word lipedema, but obviously I'm not new to the condition that has affected all of our bodies. And I'm almost 65, and had I known all of the wealth of information that I learned from the last conference in April, if I could have learned that 10 years ago, perhaps I could have managed it better. But this is where I am now. And I like to say, with all of my curves, bumps, and bobbles, you'll hear me say that a lot. I don't like to say bulges about my body. I like to call them bubbles because it sounds pretty. So in my community, just being around women who look like me and then finding out about lipedema and lymphedema, there is a lot of shame around so much of it. And I just felt like, number one, when I learned about this, I wanted to have a voice in it. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to help educate doctors and clinicians and help advocate for women who have this condition that need to get the information out. And so I started a blog called Beautifully Curved. Mm-hmm. And for me, it was very important to not only to advocate for getting the information out so that people have an understanding, but also to be able to receive the truth about ourselves and to be able to love ourselves right where we are. We can continue to do all the things that helps care for our body, but until we really love our body, and not just our physical body, but our mind and our spirit, it's all part of us, right? Mm-hmm. We're a whole being. And so I think that there comes a time when we need to start addressing things like shame.
Right.
And, I just really feel like many of us, all of us, I could say, we've been told by doctors that we are just fat or morbidly obese. That's just such a horrible word to take into our spirit. Morbidly, that just sounds like you're speaking death over me. Uh-huh. And so, and then well-meaning friends and family that try to intervene with us, out of the goodness of their heart, because they think that they are doing something or saying something that's going to help us.
Right.
But I'm sensitive, and I'm sure that a lot of us are like that, and we take it into our spirit over our years, and we start to feel like, gosh, maybe I am lazy, or maybe I am not disciplined, or why can't I lose the weight, or why can't you have whatever those hurts are and those thoughts that spin in our hearts, it brings you down. And So as I started thinking about what was I going to be able to share at the conference on self-care, I started thinking about a couple things. People say, how are you showing up? Or how you show up in the world. And then I thought, well, how are you showing up for yourself? Right.
Yes. Yes.
And so then I started thinking, well, let's go a little deeper on that. And how are we loving ourselves unconditionally? And how are we speaking to ourselves? You know, we don't want to use negative words to put ourselves down. Even trying on clothes or taking a picture. You know, I shared at my last live stream that I took a picture with my husband and for his birthday. And the first thought I had was, gosh, I look so heavy. And then I thought, well, why is being heavy mean I'm not beautiful? You know, that's a mindset thing. And we have to learn how to get our mind to receive the truth so that we in turn can love ourselves unconditionally. And then when we can love ourselves unconditionally, then we can love other people at a higher level.
Right, right.
So as a life coach, I started thinking about what have I done in the past, you know, to help people, and how could I transfer that now into this community and help other women learn how to truly love ourselves and release it. If we truly believe it's not our fault, then the truth is we don't have to have shame about it. Right.
Right.
And so some of the questions that I want to share, I don't want to just say don't have shame, because sometimes we need to know how not to. And it's a starting point, I believe. You know, there's a lot of inner work that has to be done. We have to have a way to shift our mindset out of that stinking thinking and really be able to receive truth about ourselves. So as you can see, I'm in my art studio. I'm an artist and a creativity coach as well. And so one of the things that I'm trained to do, I have been certified to do, is to lead energy in art. And you may be saying, well, I'm not an artist, and you don't have to be an artist. You could journal, you could write. You know, I don't know if you're aware, I'm sure you are because you're very smart, but our brain, we have two sides of our brains, right? We have the logical side and then we have the creative side. And so by creating something, we can flow into the truth and we don't let that logical side make us second guess, right? This is right, this isn't true, and you hear all the negative stuff. And so I found that by creating, you know, sewing, knitting, whatever that is, whatever that looks like to you, but you have to write, you do have to write these questions. And so what I'd like to suggest is maybe grab a pencil real quick and just write down these questions and start thinking through them a little bit. So one of the questions that you may want to write about, and when I paint, I call it healing art. So when I paint in layers, and then I can ask myself the question and then I paint it out. And then I ask myself a question and I paint it out. So it doesn't even have to look like anything. You're just releasing the emotions. So the first question is, what lie am I believing? What lie am I believing?
Yes. And if I can ask our tech support if she can put these into the chat below as Tamara says what these questions are, then we can have them added so people will have these questions for later. So the first one is, what lie am I believing?
And what lie are you believing about yourself? Make it specific. Okay, what lie am I believing about myself?
Yes.
And then the next one would be, who do I need to forgive about this lie? It could be yourself.
Yes, and it could be yourself.
Yeah. And then take time to sit quietly and forgive, and then bless that person. It could be many people, somebody who spoke, you know, into your life that wasn't true. And then you could ask, if you're so inclined, ask God, who, what is the truth? Or just ask, what is the truth? What is the truth? And then write those things out. And really take some time to do this. And even the forgiveness part, unforgiveness can make us sick. Physically, it can make us sick. And it doesn't mean that you have to go to the person and say anything to them. And especially if it's a toxic relationship, you don't want to do that. But if it's, somebody that, it doesn't even matter. You don't have to go to the person. This is about you, right?
So it's more about just getting it out of, you're holding this stuff in and now you're getting it out there, not necessarily to a specific person, but you just put it out there. And so that is part of what you're talking about, or releasing.
Right, exactly. And so then the next step, I really, really, really encourage. It takes a little bit of action, but get some index cards or some sticky notes, and then start writing down and keep that running list going of the truth. And the truth might look something like this: I am lovely. I am forgiven. I am blessed. I am kind. I am trustworthy. I am beautiful with all my bumps, curves, and bobbles. You can use that too. I am worthy of love. I am loved. I am valued. I am treasured. And just remember, no negativity is allowed. Push those thoughts aside. You could say, like, I see you, but that's not true. You have to go.
And then that speaks to the title of your podcast that you do on Tuesdays. It was up on the screen briefly, that when you get together on Tuesdays and you're interviewing people, this is Life with Lipedema: Loved, Valued, Treasured. And just those types of things that you hopefully will be able to say to yourself. This is all part of that, living a better life. Yeah, it's very good.
Even if you don't believe it at first, that's okay. It's still true. The truth is the truth. And then the more you say it out loud, I keep them in my purse. And then when I'm feeling a little vulnerable, or, I can go into that shame thought sometimes. I have to remember, no, I see you. That's not true. You have to go. I am. And then you have to say it out loud, because sooner or later, sooner than later, when you actually do this activity, your mind will start transferring to that right thought. And then you'll be believing it about yourself.
Yeah, repetition. That's what we need. Yeah. Well, we've had probably a lifetime of repetition of negative thoughts.
Exactly.
So now we're trying to repeat it or kind of cover that up with a repetition of positive thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a little tidbit of what I wanted to share, and give you a little bit of action steps on how you can release that shame.
And this is all part of, the holistic approach that we talk about at Lipedema Simplified, that when we get together at our conference coming up next weekend, we're not only talking about the physical things you can do, like getting manual lymph drainage or using a pump or something like that. We're also going to be talking about how to work on your inner self, the emotional stuff, and getting support from others with the social aspect. So, and this is a lot of what you speak to with your podcasts, with, your participation on that self-care panel. It's not just self-care of your physical self, it's all the other parts of you too. So and you can see the information right there on our conference coming up September 27, 28, 29. It's virtual. It's from your own living room or wherever you are. You could be watching on your phone if you're not at home. So be sure and get the information below and join us. We want you to be part of the conversation, part of the solution. So get together with experts and speakers and other attendees that are, just like you, that have lipedema and or lymphedema, and join us for that. And if you need to know more information about our event that's coming up, join us tomorrow, Saturday, this is a free webinar. We're calling it Ask Me Anything, because ask us anything that you want to know about this event and how you could participate and get the most out of it. That's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern. The link is below if you would like to join us. And remember too that if you are not available tomorrow at 3 p.m., you can, as long as you register, you will get a replay and you will be able to see what was discussed, even if you're not able to be there. So hopefully you will join us for that. And Tamara, thank you so much for being so active in the community, starting with when you were so active when you were at the conference last time, and just, continually posted comments, gave support to others, asked things in the Q&A. You were like what we call a super participant, because so
I'm just a little outgoing.
But it was, and there is all different levels of participation in these events. So there's certainly people that this is so new to them, they feel a little bit intimidated or maybe even overwhelmed. And so they just want to be there to soak it in. That is okay too, just to be there and watch and listen. But if you want to do what Tamara did, that is also welcome too, to participate in that way. This is about whatever it is that you need when you're there.
I was just soaking it all in. I wanted to get every bit of knowledge that you guys
Yes.
And then joining the tribe, I just have to say what an amazing community this is, and everything on the menu that you would ever want. Different choices if you're a researcher, a learner, or if you're,
a mover, a doer.
There's exercise, stretching. I mean, there is just so much in that tribe group.
Well, and Tamara, you're involved in the creative group that's meets on Sundays too. So, and that is as you talked about, we do all kinds of things as part of the tribe. And that group is just people who have any number of ways of being creative. That you have, of course, your artwork in the background and stuff like that. And so someone might be knitting and another person is painting something and someone else is doing some other craft. But just getting together with other people and seeing what is out there, what are potential ways to be creative. Just doing all that together and sharing that. It's another great opportunity for getting that support that people crave and very much need with this condition. So, and we'll be hearing more about the tribe at the event as well. So be sure and join us for that. As I say, it's virtual. And consider, if you are a busy and active person and you can't be in front of your computer for 3 days straight, you might want to upgrade to the premium access, because then you will have replays. You will be able to see anything that you may have missed, or maybe you need to watch it again. You'll be able to get that. Plus, we have all kinds of other perks for the premium people, that they have special Q&A sessions just for them and all kinds of stuff. I think you're part of that, aren't you, Tamara? As a speaker, I think you're definitely part of that. So, as one of our panelists. So please join us. I really look forward to this event and getting to know you more, Tamara, and working with you as part of this community. It's going to be fantastic.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thanks, Tamara. And I hope to see all of you at the event. Be sure and get that information below. Join us tomorrow for that free webinar. And we'll see everybody next time. Bye, everybody.